Kia ora and welcome along to the Met Service Severe Weather Update from Friday. As we head through this afternoon, we have got some thunderstorms to watch out for, especially across the likes of, say, Auckland, parts of Northland and the Coromandel. And we have got more rainfall on that eastern coast of the North Island as we head through the rest of today for Friday, but also through and towards that first part of Saturday. Let's start things off by taking a look at the satellite and radar. As you can see, this band of cloud up towards the northern parts, up towards the East Cape, and that rainfall through there. These are X's here, these are red crosses, already showing we've got some thunderstorms springing up this morning. As we go through and towards the afternoon, we are going to find more of those developing. So it is going to be a fairly unsettled story across Auckland, Northland, the Coromandel, place like Great Barrier Island as well for Friday afternoon. And then we're going to find this rainfall pushing back on towards the eastern coast as well. Here's how things are shaping up as we go through the next few days. You can see these twin areas of low pressure pushing that wet weather on towards the eastern coast and lingering across the likes of, say, Auckland and the Coromandel. Embedded in amongst that, some fairly heavy, thundery downpours. So we could find spots getting as much as 25 to 50 millimetres of rainfall beneath those thunderstorms. They're not for everyone, but I think it's definitely a situation to be very aware of as we go through the next few days. As we head in towards, say, the end of Friday, you start to see this rainfall pushing back in as this low pressure moves southwards down that eastern coast. So let's start things off by looking at that rainfall and where it's spread across the North Island. You can see the heaviest rainfall on that eastern coast, but also across those more central parts of Auckland up in towards the likes of the Coromandel, Great Barrier Island, even those southern parts of Northland as well. Could well find some fairly heavy thundery showers this afternoon. So that's where we've got our severe thunderstorm watch up across those northern parts. Now, this runs right the way through to around about 10 o'clock for those northern parts of Auckland, up in towards Northland and Great Barrier Island. Those are areas, say, north of Orewa, areas south of Orewa in the Auckland area and down towards Great Barrier Island and the Coromandel. Could well keep that thunderstorm risk right the way through into about midnight or so. And like I say, some quite intense bursts, 25 to 50 millimetres of rainfall, not out of the question in an hour or so with those really intense thunderstorms as we go through the rest of this afternoon. There are also some severe weather watches and warnings in those areas as well. The warning is out across the likes of, say, the Coromandel, 80 to 110 millimetres of rainfall quite widely across that region there. And locally, even up to about 180 millimetres of rainfall in the most intense showers. So something to watch out for there. And that watch for the heavy rainfall runs across Auckland down towards those northern parts of Waikato and even those western parts of the Bay of Plenty as well. As we head across towards that eastern coast, you can see we've got watches and warnings which cover everywhere from Wairarapa right up towards the far northern parts of Gisborne, Tairāwhiti. And we are going to keep hold of this heavy rainfall as we go through the rest of Friday and through in towards Saturday as well. So let's start things off in those northern areas. The warning runs right the way through to the early hours of Saturday. Locally, generally rainfall around about 60 to 90 millimetres, but there will be intense bursts again with some thunderstorms and downpours. We could find 100 to 150 millimetres of rainfall local spots as we go through Gisborne. So it is, I think, going to be something to watch out for as we head through the rest of today and particularly those early parts of Saturday morning. So we head a little bit further southwards down towards Hawke's Bay. We are going to find there's more rainfall to come through there, particularly in those areas north of Hastings, where we could find 100 to 150 millimetres of rainfall. We're also going to find that could be possible at the ranges south of Hastings as well. But I think it is, going to be a very wet story as we go through, particularly that first part of Saturday morning. We're going to find some more showers and thunderstorms embedded in that as well. So for it looks for Hawke's Bay, the wettest time for you will be as we head through towards Saturday morning. But really that rain is with us pretty much now right the way through into the first part of Saturday. You'll also notice we've got some watch areas as well out towards those eastern parts of Taihape, and that's really from the end of the day on Friday through towards the first part of Saturday morning. Similarly down towards the Wairarapa, as this system moves southwards, we'll find that wet weather transfers to you, including the Taurua district, as we go through towards Saturday daytime, so from about 9 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the evening on Saturday. And similarly down in the far southern parts of, in towards the far northern parts of the South Island, I should say, we could well find as we head towards the end of the day on Saturday and through and towards the early hours of Sunday, those rainfall totals just picking up, perhaps reaching warning criteria for, like to say, the Kaikoura coast and those eastern parts of Marlborough. As we head through the next few days, we're going to carry on seeing that low pressure move southwards. As it pulls away, though, we should find the weather slowly starts to improve across many parts of the country as we go towards that Sunday afternoon and in towards the end of the day. There will still be some showers to watch out for the likes of those far northern parts. But generally, the better news for some dry weather on that eastern coast as we head towards the end of the day on Sunday. That's it from me, but don't forget you can find all the latest on those forecasts, watches and warnings on the Met Service website.